D.Richardson Productions, a magical experience for everyone.
What's up, everyone? It's Darnell Richardson, the founder and CEO of D.Richardson Productions. I'm super excited because we kicked off this amazing 10th anniversary virtual affair. I'll tell you, we kicked off it this morning with our workout. If you guys were watching it, I was watching, doing all the technical stuff, and I was out of breath just watching it. So if you guys haven't got a chance to watch it, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel to check it out. And it is playing still here on Facebook. But right now we're here for something super important that we have to do. We have to talk about, because within all the world of fun that D.Richardson Productions offer, we are on education. And right now we're entering a period where there's some questions that need to be asked. And we want to make sure that we address those questions. And we brought in some amazing individuals from the Philadelphia area that are doing some amazing things in the education world. So I'm super excited to bring in my guests that I have today. So we're going to bring them all in. So we have some amazing people, and they're all over the city right now. I'm live in Miami. So we have some amazing people that are with us right now. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Awesome. So we're just going to get a chance to allow them to introduce themselves. So we're going to start with Miss Elaine Johnson, who can introduce herself today.
Hi, I'm Elaine Johnson. I'm the owner of Johnson Child Care Center. I've been in business for 30 years, servicing children in the West Oak Lane area, but really from all over the city. We offer infant and toddler care. We have Philly pre-K program. We have 90 spots there. We have a large facility. It used to be St. Benedict School, so it's an awesome site. We do preschool and before and after school. And also we have some virtual programs that we're going to be launching in September.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No problem. All right, we're going to go to Ms. Polite. Hello.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Hope all is well. My name is LaShawna Polite. I'm an educator, life coach, educational consultant, and youth advocate in the city of Philadelphia. I've been working with youth for over 25 years. I have an upcoming project this fall where I'll be starting my own program to house displaced youth. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm glad to be here. Happy 10th.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're going to jump down to Ms. Curry. There you go.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Trish Curry. I've actually worked in a school district in the Philadelphia area for the last 2 decades in different roles. Right now, I work at a charter school as a performing arts teacher. And I, too, am very excited to be here and to have been a part of this 10-year journey with D.Richardson Production.
Thank
you for having me.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go to Dr. Hyacinth.
Well, hello there. I have to say, Darnell, I am so proud of you. I've known you since you actually came to my children's school to perform for them. So I'm very grateful to have this spotlight right now. I am an educator. I've been in this business for over 25 years. I am at one of the few African-centered schools that are left in Philadelphia, and I am so happy to be here to discuss how can we help our babies move forward in this pandemic. I'm also a college professor. I've been a college professor for the last 10 years, once again, working with students of color primarily. And so I'm really happy to be here. Happy 10th anniversary to you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. All right, we're going to go over to Susan Small. Hello, Susan.
Hey. Hello, everybody. My name is Susan C. Small. I am the CEO and creative director at S. Charlie Productions Incorporated, which is a Philadelphia-based production company. And I'm also a brand new children's book author. So happy 10th anniversary, Darnell.
Thanks for coming on. So as you guys may notice here, that we have some amazing people that are in all different worlds of education with us. But, you know, we couldn't have this conversation without inviting a student on. And it's just so happened the student happens to be my nephew. So he actually reached out to me and asked that he be a part of it. I said, why not? So I definitely, you know, with educators, why not get a child's perspective or a student's perspective on, you know, this whole education process with COVID-19. So Kahim, hello there.
Hi, my name is Kahim. I'm a ninth grader at the Philadelphia Military Academy, and I'm also the director of student government at the People for People Charter School.
Awesome. And just a quick note, Kahim is actually, you know, with D.Richardson Productions being 10 years old. Kahim, how old are you now? You are
14.
14. So that means he was about 4 years old. Yes, actually a little bit younger than that before we really got started. But if you go into our social media, you can actually see Kahim was one of our first performers. He was literally 2 years old playing a djembe on stage at Love Park. So he's been a part of the journey from the start. So it's super awesome to be able to see your nephew, and he has the motivation and spirit. You know, he's creating things. He's leading the school. He reminds me of myself. So super excited to be able to have you join us on today. All right, so again, let's get this conversation started. I'm gonna bring all my people up on the camera here that we can see you guys. Perfect. All right. Again, this is gonna be super amazing for those that who are watching at home. We do see that you guys questions. Just to share what we have up here. We have congrats being part of this. Awesome. So if you have any questions, please share it in the comments. We definitely can repost it and we can answer what you have. So let's get this conversation started if we can. All right, so our biggest thing that we're talking about here is the pandemic. And a lot of parents are wondering, how are they going to do this? You know, they had to kind of like forcefully do it, and it was in March to figure that out. But now we're trying to figure out, okay, what is it that has to be done to create success within my child's education? You know, I never did virtual school before. I haven't been in school myself for years. So when it comes, you give me a math problem, like, how do you do this math problem? You know, I don't have that, you know, I can't remember. So what can we do as educators to recommend, or something that we can, you know, just raise your hand for my panelists that would like to tag in first, and then we'll do it like that so I can unmute you. So we'll start with Dr. Hyacinth.
So one of the things that we have done, and we will continue to do at our school, is we will record our presentation. And so we wanted to do it in 2 ways. If we were in the building, the first way would be at the beginning of the school week, we would actually create our presentation and record it so that parents can learn along with the student. The second version of that was to actually do it while we were in class. And so we would record a class so that students can hear other students ask questions, because a lot of times what will happen will be is the same questions that your student will have will be the same question another student will have. And so we would actually get to see the process of working through it. And so having these videos online already can in fact be a service to parents so that they can actually see the process and, you know, be able to help their students. And also, please do not forget, even though we may not be face-to-face and being able to touch each other, you can still contact us as educators. And just know that, you know, just as much as you want the assistance, we want to be able to provide it. So reach out to that teacher and ask for whatever other resources they have available to help you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to tag in? Any other educators want to tag in? And again, this is just the top of the conversation. We have a lot. This is going to, of course, it's going to go a lot deeper. But anyone else want to tag in on that portion there? Okay, Ms. Johnson, we're going to come over to you. All right.
Okay, so we have, like I mentioned earlier, that we do have Philly Pre-K program at our center, and this would be we're requesting to Philly Pre-K that, you know, to allow us to do something different, because this is new to everybody, what's going on. Some parents may not be comfortable sending their children in for face-to-face learning, so we're advocating to Philly Pre-K to have the preschoolers, the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, to have actual virtual class online. So what I would need for parents who are interested, and I'm so excited because people can join our live classes all throughout the whole entire city. It doesn't have to be just a certain location. Can I get there? Do I have transportation or whatever? So if they would like to register for our program, they can contact us at johnsonchildcarecenters@gmail.com. Also, for our before and after school students, we have the opportunity, hopefully, to have them to come and join us face to face. That way, we will be able to support the children in the classroom, a small setting, so that they will be able to do their online classes at the center as well.
Nice. So providing resources for parents, especially for those who, you know, who's working and they're like, okay, I have to work. Everyone's not out of work. Some, you know, especially those essential workers that are working in those supermarkets and, wherever they're working, they're having to leave. They're like, okay, I can't leave my 5-year-old at home. You know, what could I do? So your center is allowing those parents that have that resource to be able to learn virtually somewhere safe with COVID guidelines, and the exposure is a lot less than it would be in a school of 500 or 600 children.
Right. And also the parents, we have to follow. Okay, since our daycare is governed over by the state, we have to follow all of the new CDC guidelines with COVID in our center. So that's one thing they don't have to worry about. Are they doing the right thing? Are the children wearing masks? Are the teachers wearing masks and shields? All those things that CDC say that we have to do, we are following those guidelines. So the parents don't have to worry about that part.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I love that a whole lot. So thank you for creating, digging deep into it to be able to help our community during this time. And we will get through this. It may take some time, but I think that this is just a test for all of us, and we definitely could do this. And it's, we're going to come out of this strong and stronger than ever, especially I know for me personally, professionally, I'm always running, and this pandemic allowed me to stop and do some reflecting. And how ironically for me, this year alone, being the 10 mark for the business professionally. I just graduated from Full Sail University a couple of weeks ago, or about a month ago now. Time flies. You guys can clap for it if you want to get a virtual clap. But this has been like a turn of a new chapter. And, the COVID-19 has allowed me to personally do some reflecting on my own of where I want to go in the next my next chapter of life. So, from business owners to educators, for everybody, if you haven't used this time, and those who are watching this live right now, if you haven't used this time to really reflect and to plan of where you are planning to go, because something like this is not going to happen for a very long time. If you look in the history of pandemics, they've been happening every 100 years, and not trying to be a damper on the parade, but I don't think any of us will be here in 100 years from now, just being honest. But, take advantage of what is thrown at us at the moment. But anyone else like to jump on that last question before we go to the next question? Just raise your hand if you would like to. All right, cool. So we'll jump on. So this next question was actually brought up from Ms. Curry. So maybe you can take the lead on this. And when I had a conversation with her earlier today, the conversation was geared towards what can be done as educators to create rigor within the classroom virtually, to keep our students engaged, keep them involved, to create that same interactivity that we have in a physical classroom, but in a virtual world. So Ms. Curry, did you want to jump in on that one there just to kick it off?
Sure, I'll jump in on that. In the classroom, we are physically there, and we can, give a person a pat on the back. We can give them a high five. We can give them a word of encouragement. And so, I just feel like it is very important that we figure out ways to produce that sort of same rigor when we are virtual. And so, just being able to put children into chat rooms and go in and give them a virtual high five, or whatever we can do to sort of encourage them to be their best, or to let them know they're on the right track.
Awesome. Thank you. Want to tag to what we can do as educators to keep it creative and to keep our kids involved. Okay, I'm gonna come over to you. Polite. Okay.
Hi. So I'm an educator. I've been in the classroom for quite some time. And so just from personal experience, in order for rigor to remain in the learning process virtually is just making sure that we plan with the end in mind. And parents, you have to hold teachers accountable to ensure that your child is getting work that is on their grade level and or is challenging. We are still in the learning phase of virtual learning. So there may be some cases where teachers have fell short as far as giving like easy assignments or not logging on consistently. It's very important that teachers plan with the end in mind.
Mhm.
Also, there's a lot of flexibility with virtual learning. So parents, you don't have to depend on the school schedule as far as to determine when your child learns. You also can create a schedule at home in order for your child to follow. So we know what the kids are doing in school. Of course, they have their core subjects, but as a parent, you know what your child's interests are. And so you should create activities at home. Even if you're an essential worker and you're working, there are times where you will be home with your child. Make sure you set time aside and do different activities with your child, especially if you know their interests. There are a lot of resources on YouTube where you can do hands-on science experiments with just those everyday household items that you may have at home. Children love to build. It's a fun way in order to teach math. There's fun ways to teach science. So there is going to be a lot of planning that needs to take place in order to ensure rigor stays within virtual learning. Also, I want to say be creative. This is the best time to be creative because, again, you know, you're at home. Any idea that you can think of something that you want your children to do, it can be done. Just make it happen. Make it happen. Be creative. Think outside of the box. Again, we are learning right now. This is a new experience for all stakeholders, school-wide, parents, community leaders. But just plan, be creative, and make the situation the best you can possibly make it. Definitely.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for your input there. I'm just reading some of the comments from people that are watching over on social media. Naima Wilson actually said, I can appreciate the sentiment. My son felt like he was just receiving busy work. We had something with other things. And I completely agree. You know, at that time, and I'm pretty sure, especially for our teachers that are normal, they're used to being in the physical classroom working, it could be a culture shock to them to have to like put things together virtually, you know, and on top of dealing with the direct hit of an outbreak of a pandemic. They're like, oh my goodness, you know, my mind is here, but this is mentally draining. You know, I know for me personally, you know, as a business owner and an educator as well, teaching at a West Philadelphia Achievement Charter Elementary School as well, this is Miss Curry, you know, being used to teaching in a physical format and having to convert to a virtual format. For me, it wasn't as hard, but it still took some adjusting as far as really pulling out what you need to pull out. And I believe that now that teachers had that practice run per se, not saying schooling is any way, you know, not serious or whatnot, but being as though we had that practice run to not get, again, I'm not saying this, it was play, get what I'm saying here. And now they can go even harder. And they had the summer to plan and to really pull some amazing things together to make learning virtually effective because it's done. You know, it's not like it's never been done. There's cyber schools all up and down the United States of America, or across rather, that is doing it virtually. I attended college virtually and I got a lot out of it, but it can be done. And it's just an adjustment that has to be made. So it's not impossible because nothing is impossible. Because if you use I am, it creates I'm possible, we're all possible. So that's my take on it there. Anyone else want to add anything to that particular section there? Just Ms. Kyrie? Okay, coming over to you.
Yeah, so that is sort of exactly on the lines of what we were talking about earlier, to have students get involved in their planning, to set some goals, and to actually put a visual out for them to follow a schedule, because it's easy to sleep a little bit later, or to eat whenever you want to, because we are home. So, it would be really, really helpful for parents to allow their child to participate in making their own schedule and to have it be visual for them to follow. And I think we said something about it takes a number of days, 21, 27 days to create a new habit. So that's what we want to do. I had a mentor who said, Ms. Curry, don't teach naked math. And I asked, I said, well, what does that mean? So basically what he said is the same thing that LaShawna Polite said. Make sure that all of the things that they are learning, they can connect to their lives, that they can connect to growing up, and make it creative. I've gone in, I've taken out my violin that I had all the way back in high school because it provides comfort. The pandemic is real. We need to, recognize that in addition to all of the stuff that's going on, that's somewhere in the back of your mind, in the back of your subconscious. I have some visuals, just a vision board. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just a vision board with your goals on it, with your dreams on it, with your aspirations on it. And that will help children and parents to, sort of be in sync and in tune. That's what I had to add.
Yes, indeed. And just going back and piggybacking off of what you're saying as far as creating schedule, I'm coming right down to you, Doctor. Just creating schedule is extremely effective, creating habit. And, like you said, they say it's typical, it takes 21 to 30 days to create a habit, whether good or bad. And the fact that
right.
being creative and utilizing that format of going in and allowing your child to create the schedule, like you said, eating a breakfast, exercising. What you're doing is you're creating someone that's responsible, and you figure, I know for our West Philadelphia Team Charter Elementary School, we're going at least till January with the virtual learning, so that it's not a huge adjustment right before winter break. But you figure you have September, October, November, December. You have literally almost 3.5 months, because December ends early for the holiday, to create something different, something powerful, that's going to help. Again, this pandemic is not just happening. To me, it's a spiritual thing. I don't want to take up church, but it's a spiritual thing, to build up and to get ourselves together. And for no matter how old you are, no matter how old or young you are, now is the time to create new habits, to create new systems, to create success. Because again, something like this that's going to literally stop the world won't happen too often again. So while it is here, stay safe still, but utilize the resources that you have to, better yourself and to push yourself to where you need to get to. I'm going to come down to you, Dr. Heisen. All right, here we go.
So I know we might be a little bit of an anomaly. We're in high school, and so our students have a set schedule. There will be no, I'm going to get to it when I get to it. No, they have math from 8:30 to whatever time that is. And so their schedule is set. What I would suggest, though, is that a lot of the schools are going to do orientation also online. So if you are a parent, my suggestion is to come to orientation with your child so that you can see the same layout that we will be showing the student, and you will be able to participate in that. If your school is not giving an orientation for parents, you need to ask. Because I don't know any school that's going to say to a parent, you know what, let's not do orientation for you, because we want our parents to be our partners in what we're doing. And so the best way to do that is to educate our parents alongside with our children. So if they are not, for whatever reason, not having a parent orientation, jump into orientation with your child, so that you can see their schedule, you can see what's going to be required of them. You can ask those questions about when do we do the physical activity, when do we do the arts, because they're so important to the way a child develops. And so ask them. I'm thinking right now, I teach physics and environmental science, and I'm thinking right now, one of my extracurriculars is going to be a cooking class, because as Darnell knows, I used to be a personal chef. And so cooking is a thing that I have as a passion, and I'm going to be using that as my supplemental piece for my students. So ask those questions. What are you all going to do to keep that part of the rigor and, you know, the enjoyment of learning going on? And you are within your right to ask that as a parent.
Exactly. And I agree. And just going on, piggybacking off of what you said, as far as creating those extra activities, you know, there's a lot of programs that are still operating that has different things, such as our dance program, shameless plug. Find those programs that are in your community that's hosting, you know, whether it's a dance class or whatever it case be, where it has smaller settings. It's not as much of an exposure, nowhere near that you would have in a school of 500 or 600, sometimes thousands of children. You know, if you can find a dance class in the community that has 10 kids and they're, you know, they're practicing social distancing and they have all those different resources for your child to have that still contact with other students to be able to have that social interaction. So that's definitely important. So make sure you get yourself an opportunity to register to a program, something like that there. Yeah, just shameless plug there. You got to plug it in. So make sure you check us out. But yeah, so definitely take advantage of that. I want to bring Susan in because Susan is a playwright as well. So she could definitely share some insight when it comes to the arts and, you know, talk about your book as well with children and what, you know, with your world of the arts, what can you suggest to parents? 1 second. Okay.
Hey everybody. As a entrepreneur and also a mother, I have 3 children who will be in school in this upcoming school year. I think I would just, you know, reiterate everyone else's sentiments. I think it's going to be really important that parents collaborate with educators and that we, you know, think of more creative ways to keep our students involved and to keep them excited about learning, you know, also taking into consideration that we are in the midst of a global pandemic amongst a lot of other things. And while we are stressed out about it, our kids are stressed out about it as well. And so, you know, taking into consideration their mental and emotional well-being during this time that we're in, you know, we can't treat it like a normal school year. And so we definitely have to think about all of those things and how we can work together to make sure that they're not just learning and keeping up with a status quo, but that they're well, that they're mentally well, that they're physically well, that they're emotionally well. Those things are equally important because if they're not, you know, they're not going to be able to perform at the level that they need to perform academically. So I think that that's definitely important. I think that this is it's going to challenge us to be creative. It's going to challenge the educators as well as the parents and the students to think about more out of the box ways to learn. And I think it gives us also an opportunity to look at our educational system and see the areas where it has been faulty and where it has been failing, you know, and to try to make those adjustments so that our kids come out of this better than they were when we
Great information. So just to share a little bit, I'm just going to pull up a comment from a viewer that's watching on Facebook. Don't have their name here, but you guys can read. It says, my son goes to Agora Cyber Charter School in March. I totally struggle with parents trying to balance life. The only thing that helped me being a substitute teacher at Spin is hard with your own children. As parents, you really have to set a schedule. Yeah, setting schedules is extremely important because I know that's just life in general. If you go by a schedule, you tend to have things run a lot smoother than just being on the swing of things. You know, some things you can swing, but most important things in life, you need to set a schedule because it creates success. I know for me personally, professionally, it has worked creating schedules and so forth. So if anybody has any questions or comments, definitely put it in the comment section there. We'll be happy to share it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll bring back in with our guests. Stay tuned.
Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs.
My name is Jolly. I like to play the game. I like playing sports and board games. My name is Aubrey. I like LOL. I like hair, makeup, and doing that.
And that's Joel. He's the baby. He be yelling at us like the boss baby. And I'm mom. and that's that. And we gonna show y'all how we get down.
Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs. Kicking it with the new songs.
So where's the Oreo box at?
That must have been you guys. That's why I told us to go in your work.
Happy 10th anniversary to D.Richardson Productions.
You rock. Can't wait for the next event.
Keep on doing what you're doing. I see you out here grinding. We out here grinding too.
Hey y'all, it's
What's up, y'all?
KIW the New Sums, where we do family vlogs, pranks, and challenges.
Hit us up on Instagram at the Newsomes.
Alright, we out.
Happy 10th anniversary, D.Richardson Productions. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? I just want to wish my nephew at D.Richardson Productions a happy 10th anniversary. And y'all already know this sword. Don't play with sword and don't play with my nephew, okay? Happy anniversary. It's your anniversary. Anniversary. Get that money now. Love you. Bye.
Hey kids, this Tuesday at 12 o'clock, me and Diana are hosting a kids game show for the 10th anniversary D.Richardson Productions virtual celebration. We will be having a scavenger hunt, trivia, and a bunch more activities, and you may even get a chance to win a prize. We can't wait to see you there, and you don't want to miss it because this is going to be so fun. Bye guys!
Save big, party bigger. Make your next evening a big winner. D.Richardson Productions, gonna elevate your function. D-Rich, PROD.com.
So listen up. D.Richardson Productions Dance Academy celebrates 10 years of dance education in the city of Philadelphia. Register today for one of our amazing programs in your neighborhood. Visit www.drichprod.com for more information. We look forward to seeing you on the dance floor. So listen up.
Here we go. All right, perfect. All right, here we go, guys. Welcome back to our live show. We're gonna bring our back in. You guys enjoyed some clips there. Give you guys some entertainment fun. But like I said, prior to starting this cast, we take education extremely serious. For those who are just joining us, we have some amazing individuals that are joining us today. We have Miss Elaine Johnson, who is president and founder of Johnson Child Care Center. She's there. Please wave so everybody can know who you are there. We have Miss LaShawna Polite, who's an educator, a life coach, and education consultant. We have her here. We have Susan Small, who's a playwright, and she's also a children's book author as well. We have Miss Patricia Curry. She's also an educator, a blogger, and performing arts teacher. And she's a part of the D.Richardson family as well. We have Dr. Hyson Wood, who's also an educator of 25 years, who's joined us. And we also have Kaheen Bailey-Taylor, who is a student who will be attending the Philadelphia Military Academy this fall. I can't even think of the word right. This fall. You know, you think virtual, okay, do I say, are they technically still going to school, or are they, how do we say that? I know, going virtually for the fall semester to the Philadelphia Military Academy. For those that are just joining us, if you have any questions, we're going to open up the floor to questions. Just type your comment, whether you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook. We will see your comments. Type it in the comment section underneath the video that you're watching. We'll read your questions so that our panelists acknowledge your question today. So getting back to our conversation. So we left off talking about extracurricular activities, keeping our children active. and keeping them engaged with children or people, creating that social interaction beyond school, with school being closed, and still be able to utilize those resources that are available in our community, whether it's a dance school, whether it's a music school, and there are still some sports programming that are, allowed to operate, utilizing things like that to be able to still create that physical activity and all that stuff that's needed to create success within our children. My panelists would like to jump in on some suggestions or, things that they see from their platform. Just raise your hand. Okay, I'll come to you. On over to you. All right.
I think this is also a great opportunity to connect with some of your community authors. Authors are not able to do, for those schools who are only operating virtually in person, book readings and workshops, but a lot of authors are available to doing virtual workshops and virtual readings. So yeah, those are some opportunities and some ways that you have to just think outside of the box, especially for some of our elementary or even middle school students. I know a lot of authors who would love to be able to do virtual book signings, virtual readings, virtual workshops. So that would be something I think that would be great to add to your curriculum for this upcoming school year.
Very nice, very nice. Kahim, I would like to come over to you, just to give us some feedback as a student. We want to hear your perspective now. I'm trying to unmute you there. Okay, I think you're unmuted. Of your perspective as a student, how does this make you feel? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from as when you were an 8th grader at People Charter School, and this is your 8th grade year, the big hoopla, graduating, walking down the aisle. You wouldn't be considered a senior because it's 8th grade, but let's just say senior, quote unquote. How did that make you feel, having to do with that, and you're looking to those events or festivities as an 8th grader going to a new school?
One thing about ever since this pandemic started was that we missed graduation. Most of us was like mad, some was angry. I was like mad but happy because at least we wasn't being exposed to the coronavirus. So most students had a graduation on Zoom. Some had it in like their school parking lot, but our school just had it on Zoom to stop the spread of the coronavirus.
And okay, so I said you understood. So the thing is, your brain is sort of a different level than typical 8th grader or anyone younger. So you look at the political or the health side of it. So you're like, okay, I'm happy, but can you go a little bit deeper on, when it came to your fellow classmates' reactions and things of that nature, as far as from the beginning, not even with the graduation. Let's erase the thought of graduation. Let's dig into the conversation to learn online now. How was that transition for you?
So from the start of it, I was in the middle of planning our 8th grade end of the year trip and their ceremony. So once that started, it was just like most of us was like pretty like upset because like all of our hard work just went completely down the drain, basically. So we got that call because our school got shut down one week prior to all the rest of the schools due to somebody being exposed to the coronavirus. So we just most kids was crying, some was mad, some was just like they're not going to do online school since they can't graduate.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that input. Anything? Did you guys have? What was the support like from the people in your school? What was that like for you, from the administration and so forth, as far as making that transition?
So it was kind of hard to make that transition into virtual school because most kids wasn't getting online, or most kids didn't have internet access, or most kids didn't have a way to like get onto the Google Classroom. So from like from an administrator point of view, it was like kind of like nerve wracking, but we made it happen.
Right. Now, as far as support from your teachers, your principal, people in the actual school, what was that like for you?
Our support system was like good because our teachers, our nurses, our janitors, our admin members, my student government team, we all put our numbers out there for students to call us just in case they want to talk about something, or for like parents, or for like anything else that anybody want to talk about, since this was like causing mental health problems.
Good information, and it's interesting you said that, because I honestly said, the pandemic alone, and then we started dealing with the George Floyd situation, which opened up a whole nother conversation within the world. And typically, you have it whereas we can talk about it in school, but now, okay, we're not in school. How can we address these things that are happening nationwide? Like, this was happening. It's funny because I wake up here in Miami, and the first thing that I see on my phone this morning was in Chicago that they're looting again. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. They had people looting again, all over again in Chicago. And I'm like, okay, please don't let Philly see this or any other people see this. Don't publicize this, because it's going to mentally make people do it again. You know what I mean? We that was like a bit much, as far as, the looting in our own communities. Not saying looting is a good thing or anything like that, but it opened up a whole nother world. So here we are dealing with the pandemic. Now we're dealing with the social injustice, between going from the Breonna Taylor situation to George Floyd, then the other guy in Atlanta, I think he was at like McDonald's or Wendy's parking lot, forgot his name. It's a lot. It's a heavy, like people like 2020, what's up? Like, what's going on? And as a student, normally or typically think back to like 9/11 when you go back to school the next day. And I remember till today, I was in 4th grade at St. Martin de Porres in North Philadelphia when 9/11 happened. And I was in the classroom, and all you hear on the loudspeaker is, even though this is happening in New York, we still had a shelter in place, in Philadelphia, which is about 2 hours from New York. And, the fear at that moment, as a child, you process things a lot differently than an adult. Things may, not saying it wasn't serious, but something that's serious as an adult becomes like when you know what it is. If it's like something that's super, an explosive situation, you as a child become fearful. And I remember as a child, that whole day walking home from school, I'll see airplanes, I'm running. So it almost traumatizes you, as a child. And again, that's 3rd or 4th grade I was in, 2001. But I still was able to go back to school the next day, and I got you, Trish, coming right over. I still was able to go back to school and have a conversation, because a lot of people can't have conversations, especially in our urban community. Parents don't really have they don't really have that Elaine Johnson's term, the get real table. They don't really get a chance to get real. And we need that realness, not the being authentic as the word, to really explain what's going on. And schools, thankfully, most schools, as a former graduate, that was huge, super huge, was really big on opening up conversations to create, for your own health and, mental sanity, to be able to help you to get through what you to get them. I'm gonna come over to you, Ms. Curry. All right. Just got to unmute yourself there. We got it? Okay, there we go.
Sorry. Yes, got it. So that's why I really, really can resonate with Susan Small said. We can't treat this like a normal year where we have a schedule from this time to this time is very super etched in stone. This is what you're doing, because people have to have the right mindset. And if we don't do a cleansing of our minds anything that we're trying to teach these children as far as books is concerned, it's not going to be received as well. I think we really have to pay a lot of attention to our children's mental health, to our own mental health, to the mental health of the teachers, to our well-being in our minds, so that, you know, when we are trying to teach social studies and science and math, that they can relate it to their lives, and so that this will be a holistic approach. If ever there were a time for this saying to be in place, that it takes a village to raise a child, now it really, it always has, but now it is very evident that it takes a village to raise a child. And we have to all be involved. We have to all be locked arms, like Kaim said, making our numbers available and letting people know that they're not in this alone.
Yes, I agree. It definitely takes a village, and we're all in this together. You know, from rich to the poor, cultural wise, Black, white, Hispanic, wherever Asian, we're all in this together. We're all dealing with this together. And now, if not any other time, now is definitely the time for us to pull our resources together to get through this. Because I know that I don't want to say what I want to say, because I know that Facebook will probably end up taking it off. But I'm just going to say it. If they do take it off, we got to record it. I'm going to try to speak around it, if that makes sense. So, you know, who we have in the White House is not the best. And now is definitely a time to make sure the importance of voting. Let's talk about voting. Voting is extremely important. David Johnson, who's the husband of Elaine Johnson, I'm sure he's listening right now. He just recovered from his surgery. And prayers and blessings to you, Mr. Johnson. But I had a conversation with him the other day, and you know, we were talking about this panel discussion that's going on, and he emphasized and making sure that we're stressing the need to vote, which is extremely important to vote. We have to vote. You know, if we can go stand in line with some Jordans, or if we can all go down and protest and march in front of City Hall, why can't we go to our own neighborhood? We can march from Broad and Cheltenham down to City Hall, but we can't even go around the corner to press the button. Come on, we got to do better. We got to do better. And it's the voting, you know, it makes sense. We have to do it. We have to. Any of my panelists want to touch more on the voting aspects of things? Just raise your hand if you want to say. I think Ms. Johnson. Okay, I know I was coming to you. I was coming for you. All right, go ahead.
All right. Yes. As an advocate for high quality childcare, voting is extremely important, and I have to talk to the parents all the time, let them know that the funding for your fully pre-K comes from the city. The funding for your CCIS, or now ERLC, it comes from the state. The funding that you're getting, everybody's getting for unemployment, it comes from the federal government. You have to vote. Your voting is very important. The last election was the first time I did it online. Well, no, I'm sorry, excuse me, not online, but mail-in. So, you know, I want to encourage people. Donald Trump is trying to tell people that it's not going to be accurate or whatever. I felt very comfortable with my vote. They contacted me online saying that they had gotten my vote and everything. So voting is very, very, very important.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. For those who are watching right now from home, again, if you have any questions, we have about another 8 minutes left before we're closing out this live. If you have any questions or comments, please share it in the link below. Right now, we're just going to jump to our closing thoughts. I'm going to allow each of our panelists just to get some closing thoughts or some inspiration to our families as they get ready to move into the 2020-2021 school year. So I'll start from the bottom. We'll start with Kaheem. As a student, you can share some words of inspiration for our families that will be going to the virtual world this school year. You got to unmute yourself there for yourself. There you go.
So I want to say shout out to the parents, to the principals, to the teachers, and especially to the students for actually going through this and actually how can I say this? And actually showing everybody that you can go through whatever is put in front of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well said. Well said. All right, we're going to jump to Susan.
Hey, I think I would say going into this new up and coming school year for us all, parents and educators and artists alike, is to give each other grace. You know, we're all navigating something that we haven't experienced before, and we're all trying to figure it out day by day, month by month. We don't know when it's going to be over. We don't know if we're going to go back to life as usual, if this will be our new norm, or there will be some version of a normal for us. And so let's give each other grace and some space to learn to navigate and to grow.
All right, Dr. Hyacinth.
New is not something that is unfamiliar, right? We have learned over time to bend. And this is going to be one of those times that we're going to have to bend. I think it's going to be really important for parents to understand and forgive themselves if they think that they're not doing what needs to happen. Please know that as schools, we are working really hard to try to meet you halfway and 3/4 of the way if we're going to be real honest. Please know that as educators, we are here. We're not going anywhere. We are always going to be in your corner to help our babies because they're our babies. We are part of that village, as was stated earlier. You know, at Imhotep, we have the last line of our affirmation every day, which is, when I shine, we all shine. And we're going to shine once again. This is new. This is unusual. I hope we never go back to normal, because what normal was unacceptable. We do have to figure out what this thing called education is going to look like in this country for the masses, and this is the time for us to do that. Please know that we are here, and you know, we will take your questions, we will take your consideration, we will take it all. If you need us, call us. We are here, and you know, let our babies know that we're in this all together, and you're going to be just as fine as they are.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to jump to Ms. Curry. You just have to unmute yourself there. There we go.
Okay, well, I just want to thank every single person on this panel, every single person viewing on YouTube, everyone on Facebook and wherever other platforms, because these are the conversations that we have to have so that we can actually make a change and make a difference. I saw that the Chinese symbol for I want to say problem. No, it's not problem, but it has a dual meaning. It is a problem and an opportunity. And so that is where that's where we are right now during this crisis. We have a problem, but we also have an opportunity. We have an opportunity, like Dr. Hyacinth said, to not go back to normal, because normal wasn't really acceptable. We have an opportunity to change things now. And so I'm just grateful for everyone's energy. Thank you for having me on here. And again, I'm looking forward to the next 10 years. Let's do it.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Ms. Polite.
Hi. So my last words of encouragement for parents and youth is to be an advocate for yourself. Parents, be an advocate for your child, and students, be an advocate for yourself. There are going to be moments where you may not have positive days. You may not have good days. And, you know, depression happens. It's going to happen. You're going to have moments where you're going to get frustrated or angry. Make sure you're an advocate for yourself. So parents, be in constant communication with teachers. Let them know today's not a good day, or my child may need a break today. And students, make sure you openly communicate with your teachers. If you need to be excused from an assignment, you just need to be excused because you may not be feeling well, or you may not have the necessary resources in order to complete that assignment. So again, advocate for yourself, speak up for the school district. As long as you log on and say hello, good morning, you will be counted for that day. Now, as far as assignments is concerned, if you need extensions on assignments, or if you need further clarification on any e-learning assignments, speak up. Do not wait to the last minute, because you will be penalized for it. So again, be an advocate for yourself. speak up. Darnell, I do want to share a school district helpline, and this is provided for all families, parent, caregiver, student. It's called the Philly Hope Line. And if at any time, if any families need some extra support as far as mental health is concerned, they can call 1-833-PHL-HOPE. And that is 1-833-PHL-HOPE. And they have professionals that's going to answer the phones, therapists, mental health specialists that'll be able to help parents and students get through these difficult and challenging times. And Darnell, again, thank you for having me, and happy 10th anniversary.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Not
All
a
right,
problem.
jump over to Ms. Johnson.
Hi. Okay. I just wanted to speak really, really clearly to the parents and let them understand that just like everyone was saying about being an advocate, I've been an advocate for high quality childcare for about 30 years now. But what's so important that we have to hear from the parents. The parents have to tell us what they need, right? Like, for example, with the Philly Pre-K, the Philly Pre-K is ran by the Mayor's Office of Education. That's on the city level. Contact your city council. Like for the district where my daycare is, it's the great, I feel she's wonderful, Cindy Bass. Okay, let her know what it is that you need. In my district, we have on the state level is Stephen Kinsey. Let him know. Let whoever your district, your state representative or city council, let them know what it is that you want. You do have a voice. Everything is for you. We're doing all of this work. But if we don't hear from you, then it's like the work that we're doing is in vain. So also, I wanted to say for the parents, there's a survey that's being given for Philly Pre-K. Is due, the last day is August the 15th. The only thing you have to do, contact the city office of education for Philly Pre-K and let them know, yes, I do want to advocate my child's right as a choice for education. Everybody is not comfortable with the face-to-face, or they don't need face-to-face, or going online or whatever, but you have to speak up. Again, you can also contact me at johnsonchildcarecenters@gmail.com. Let us know that you want to be a part of the program. It's free for Philly Pre-K. And also, we may be able to make some changes so that the ERLC will also pay for it online. So speak up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, Darnell.
Thank you. Again, thank you to all of our amazing panelists. You know me, I'm about production and timing. It's 3:58. Thank you guys for coming on. Let me get you guys all on the screen so our people can see you. Thank you guys. Let's give you a virtual high fives and hugs and all those good things. I'm here in Florida. You guys are in Philly holding it down. Living my dream, and I'm super excited. I'll be there really soon, hopefully. But with this virtual world, it has taught us how to communicate with our family and friends no matter where we are in the world. So being as though, I'm here thousands of miles away and on Miami Beach, literally on a peninsula, surrounded by water, because of the beauty of technology allowed me to still have that connection with you guys, to be able to do it. So just a quick little feedback. We have some amazing comments from people. Thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you guys. Quick note, we are having our happy hour today at 6 o'clock. So you guys on our panel are free. Anyone that's watching this live feed right now, you too are welcome to join. It's going to be live on social media. You'll get a chance to share your business with everyone. Bring your drink, whether it's water or a margarita. I'll have mine. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So again, thank you guys so much for coming on. Check out our website for all the rest of the events that we have coming up. And we will see you guys at the next feed. Have a good one, guys.
Let's do it!